Today, I'm going to be showing you guys my brand new 6'11" lockdown build on NBA 2K23. And one of the crazy benefits of this build is that this is the tallest height you can go and still get lockdown takeover on a build. But with all of that out of the way, let's get started on how to make this build, man. Let's go. If you want to get high quality jerseys at a low price, go check out my sponsor, pristinejerseys.com. Link is in the description. So when it comes to making this build, I ended up making it at the power forward position. Everything else on the screen does not matter, but I made it at power forward. So now when it comes to the body settings, we're going to go with the height of 6'11", weight 216 pounds with a 7'9" wingspan and a defined body shape. So now when it comes to the finishing on this build, you're going to get an 85 close shot, a 70 driving layup, an 86 driving dunk, which is going to get you goal limitless takeoff, contact dunks, and silver posterizer. You're also going to get an 80 standing dunk, which is going to get you the basic big man standing contact dunks, and you're also going to get a 52 post control to get an extra badge point. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys, man, this build when it comes to finishing is pretty freaking solid, man, especially when you're in the post. Listen, you can actually do some pretty decent post moves without post control. As you guys saw right there, we hit him with the up and under. You just got to understand that people will sometimes jump at the post top, and then you just hit them with the up and under. But then when it comes to mashing down low, this build is going to be pretty freaking solid as well. Listen, I don't really make a whole lot of mashers, man. I don't make pure insides. I don't really sit down low on the low block and try to dead zone people. But listen, stuff is pretty cheesy and it's pretty easy. I'm not gonna lie to you. But yeah, no, I feel like with this build, you kind of meet the basic baseline for every single finishing attribute that you really need. That 85 close shot with the gold fast twitch, the gold masher, the gold fearless finisher is gonna be super clutch. Then when it comes to the driving contact dunks, you're gonna get that gold limitless takeoff, contact dunks, slithery finisher, and posterizer on silver as well. And then the standing dunks, you get the basic big man standing dunks, which are gonna be really nice when you're down low in the paint and you need to get the ball into the basket. And then with the really good finishing attributes that you get, you can also catch lobs pretty easily on this build as well. You're gonna get Lob City Finisher. Jesus, what is this? 2K22. You're gonna get Aerial Wizard on gold, which is nice to have on this 6'11" build. But overall, man, this build is just really solid when it comes to the finishing. And then the final thing too, since you have that 85 close shot, you can also get a little hooky with them, and you can hit those post hooks on this build too, man. And listen, you can hit some pretty contested ones as well. So now let's move on to the shooting. You're going to get an 80 mid-range shot and then an 81 three-point shot on this build. This is going to get you access to gold catch and shoot, Hall of Fame space creator. You're also going to get gold midi magician on this build, and if you do want to upgrade the mid-range one more to get that 81 for the Hall of Fame midi magician, you absolutely can, but I chose not to because I'm not really going to be taking a lot of midi fades on this build. And now let's take a look at some of these shooting highlights, man. Listen, you're going to be a knockdown shooter when it comes to your catch and shoots, whether it's in the corner, whether it's on the hash. It's just going to be an easy shot to hit with that 81 three-pointer, and you can take some shots off the dribble on this build. Those step back threes, those step back middies are definitely going to be available. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this shooting on this build is solid. You can pretty much hit every single shot that you need to hit on this type of build. Again, catch and shoots, you're from any spot on the court, you're gonna be chilling. But then, like I said, man, you could take some shots off the dribble too. We grab the offensive rebound, we run it out to the corner, we hit him with the backwards fade cheese, man. Listen, you can hit those type of shots on this build if you know your timing. And then right there, thanks to our teammate running right towards me, I end up having to shoot a contested three, but we made that go in as well. And I'm telling you guys, again, you can score in the post without having post control. You just got to understand, leverage a little bit, when to shoot which way, when to shoot the other way, when to start pulling those up and unders out of your bag. But I'm telling you, you can score in the post without post control. And oh my God, that was a nasty dex. But now let's take a look at these final three shooting highlights right here. We're in the post. We're gonna hit it with a post hop shot. It's contested, but it still goes in, man. And listen, my midi wasn't even upgraded all the way when I was using this build. My midi was in like the 70s when I'm hitting these contested post hops, these deep post hops, these midi fades. But we make it work, man. We know how to hit these type of shots at a high volume, so it's easy for us at this point. So now when it comes to the playmaking, it's pretty simple. You're going to get that 76 pass accuracy, which is going to get you break starter on gold, as well as the LeBron James passing style, which is the best passing style in the game, right next to none. Now listen, that 76 pass accuracy is going to be just enough for what you need to play make, let's say when you're in the post, or to hit those outlet passes on the fast break. That gold break starter is going to be more than enough to get the ball across the court really fast to open teammates for open catch and shoots or for open dunks. Now, definitely an 86 pass accuracy is going to be way better than the 76, but the 76 is definitely a really good sweet spot when it comes to playmaking. I personally think the 65 is just too low in a lot of situations. Only getting that silver break starter and having having the slower passing speeds in a half-court set just really are not good, but the 76 is definitely going to be more than enough. Now let's move on to the defense, man, and listen, you're going to get an 80 interior defense, a 76 perimeter defense, a 77 steal, a 93 block, which is going to get you gold anchor on this build, a 78 offensive rebound, and a 94 defensive rebound, which will get you gold rebound chaser, as well as Hall of Fame box out beat. But now here is where things get interesting on this build. You are going to be a highlight reel on defense. You can pretty much do everything. You are a hybrid defender on this build. You can get stops in the paint, you can get passing lane steals, you can get on-ball steals if you're running lock takeover, and you can get steals and takeover. You can pretty much do everything that is needed defensively, and you can pretty much be everywhere on this build. This build defensively reminds me a lot of players like Giannis Antetokounmpo, just being 6'11", having lock take, having so much speed on this build, and being able to pretty much just guard almost 1 through 5 on this build is something that is absolutely insane. The one downside to this build for sure is that you don't get things like clamps at a high level. Well, really, you don't get clamps at all, or things like interceptor on a higher level than bronze, but I'm telling you, that 6'11" height with the max wingspan, you can get in those lanes, and you can pretty much cover so much ground on this build defensively. Let's say you're trying to play in between two offensive players and try and guard both at the same time. You absolutely can on this build. You can get crazy jump shot contests as well to make it even harder for opponents to get off a shot. When you're guarding multiple people, I'm telling you, you can just cover so much ground on this build. It's unreal. But let's take a look at these final two highlights right here. Get the steal and transition. We're just going to pass it up to our teammates. And then finally right here, our opponent's driving to the rim and we get that easy chase down block. So now here is the build fully maxed out. You're going to get 19 finishing badges, 20 shooting badges, 9 playmaking badges, and 28 defensive badges on this build. For me, I ended up putting all of my extra badges into finishing. There are just so many badges that you need on this build when it comes to finishing. You pretty much need all of your tier 3s, all of your tier 2s except for back down Punisher, and a couple of tier 1s as well, so I had to go and put all of my badges into finishing. And then as you can see right here, we get the physicals down low as well, a 79 speed, a 70 acceleration, a 70 strength, an 84 vertical, which is going to definitely help you get more rebounds, better jump shot contests, and better block animations overall, and a 93 stamina. But here is a second version of this build as well. This is a build that I'm actually going to be using with Laker Fan on his Pro-Am team. It's going to be a very fun build to use. I'll definitely go into more detail about how I'm going to be using this build on his team in a future video, but now let's take a look at the takeovers. So when it comes to takeovers on this build, you can get all the sharp, rim, lock, and glass takeovers on this build, and I actually ended up trying to use double jump shot contests on this build, and it's actually pretty solid. I'm going to show you guys some more gameplay of this build, especially once we start getting active in Pro-Am, but that's going to be it for today's video, man. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you made it this far into the video, I just appreciate y'all for supporting me this long into the year of 2K. We're in late June. This is definitely one of the end stages of 2K23, and we're definitely going to start moving into 2K24 news really soon, and we're also going to be talking a lot more about the future of this channel going into 2K24. Should I be focusing on more rec content, Pro-Am content? We'll kind of figure that out, and we'll decide that as a community, but I'm just excited for what the future holds, and I, again, really thank you guys so much, but I'm out, man. Peace.